I don't think so. I don't think so. All right, Custer TV, Sunday morning, as your Red Bank Generals take the ice. And again, what we're calling the War at the Shore or Battle of the Beach. It'll be your Red Bank Generals versus the New Jersey Colonials, a matchup again from last night. 4-3 loss to the Colonials. Red Bank donning their home whites. We are the home team. They will skate left to right on your screen. Again, no Tristan Resnick and no Mason Nelligan. Both are away on vacations. No injuries to report. The rest of the team is here. So we'll skate 8 forwards, 6 defensemen, 2 goaltenders, and 1 dad talking into an iPhone. Last night, I rewatched the game because I'm a bit of a hockey loser. Red Bank did not stay out of the penalty box pretty much the entire third period. I think Ty faced 21 shots in the third period. I think we only had 2. One of them was a goal, which came in the last 35 seconds of the game. Red Bank, if they stay out of the box, we give ourselves a chance to win. Anyway, good crowd here for a Sunday morning. Colonials will be donning their away reds. New uniforms this year for them. Usually they say Colonials across the front. They went with NJC. Again, a very talented group. Not sure who their starting goaltender is going to be. Einacone played last night. Shane played against the Hitmen, so not sure. I do believe Coach Van Riemsdyk is going back to Tyler Lloyd, who played last night's game. So we'll kind of, I guess, really wait for who's standing in the blue paint and the red pipes when the starting lineup heads out there. After today, we get kind of a 2-week break. We have training camp this week, Wednesday and Thursday. The boys will be here all day, on ice, off ice, and then no games for that weekend. And then the following weekend, we have practice our normal times, but again, no games. And then we go right up to Rochester. So if anybody knows of some teams that may want to play us, let us know. Again, we got a little 2 weeks break time. Minute 35 remaining in the warm-ups. Liam McGovern giving the boys an extra couple minutes out here to warm themselves up. Again, game 3 of the weekend for each team. Colonials are 2-0, Red Bank 1-1. told you the tale of the tape from yesterday. Colonials finished last year in the country 62, Red Bank 74. So these teams match up really well. Again, the last 2 times that we played, the score was 4-3. Just unfortunately, Red Bank not on top. We'd like to see that change a bit. Be nice to see Red Bank come out 4-3. And I'm sorry, last night's final was 5-4. I do stand corrected. Buzzer has sound. Pucks will start making their way into the net for collection. Teams will then gather. Referees yelling, want the boys to get the pucks in there faster, get this game started. Believe there is a game after us. I believe it's the 16U AA team again, so John Granelli probably will be stopping up in the booth getting himself set for his game. He's going to have to show me all the gadgets and gizmos that he has set up for his broadcasts. The voice of the NCDC Red Bank Generals. Team has gathered at the net. Lloyd makes his way over to see Lemoyne. Those 2 exchange fish bumps. Refs will then ensure that there are no pucks left in the net, as we don't want any behind Tyler at all. And then we'll get ready for Coach Van Riemsdyk's starting lineup. The remaining people out there, it looks like it's going to be Colin Johnson, Aiden Honan, Declan Ernst as your forwards. John Ciesla, Noah Brenner, and then your goalie, number 30, Tyler Lloyd. Team gathers, maybe a little prayer, a couple other kind words. They give Ty some bumps, and we're going to get ready for Red Bank Generals hockey, folks. Colonials ready to go, and it is going to be Colton Inacone in net. Benches sound ready. And Honan with the face-off win. Puck comes right to him. Honan had a couple goals. He had a 4-point day yesterday. 2 assists in the first game. He had 2 yesterday. Good start for him. Kept in, shot. Didn't make it in. Blocked by the defenseman. Sent up and out. Migliero brings it into his own. Nice little fake there by John Ciesla. Puck comes around. They find Johnson. Johnson hitting Ernst in the center. Ernst shoulders it in. He dumps it deep. Now he chases that around. It goes behind Inacone. Comes around to the opposite side. Comes to Honan. Honan out in front. Looking to pull the trigger. Not able to get a clean shot off. Declan being a menace out there to start. Getting things going. Kept in. Here's Ernst. Ernst turns, looks across, tipped up into the netting, and we get a stoppage of play. Nice play by the Colonial defenseman. It looked like Honan was going to get set up for a one-timer there, and the defenseman Murphy able just to get a little bit on that and chip it up into the netting. We get a stoppage of play. 16:02 remaining in the first, no score. Berendino, Sion, and Myers now out there. Shot by Sion, blocked by Berendino. Ryan McGovern and then Easton Shaheen now come out for D. Former teammate Jackson Chris, number 12, out there with Braden Shamble. Told you yesterday, he's a wrecking ball, that kid. He's 1,000 miles an hour, up and down the ice. Very good player. I know I'm glazing him, people, but he is good. Sent across just out of the reach of Barandino. Puck battle continues here, and the Hitmen come away with it as they now look to clear and enter the zone. They do. McGovern off the boards and out. Sent all the way back to Chris. Chris plays it across to his partner. Blocked by Barandino, but it comes right back to Jackson Chris. Shot in, steered aside by Lloyd. That popped out right out in front. And that's where Barandino gets it with his speed. Mikey had a couple goals yesterday as well. Some really nice in and out moves coming through the center. Depositing the puck in the back of the net. Here comes Shamble. Working on Gannon. Nice move there. Shot save. Nets off. Kept in by Colonials. Shot and a goal. The net's off. Net's off, and shot from the point. Net was off, and shot still went in. Not really sure that had any effect on the goal, to be quite honest, but either way, no call. 1-0 Colonials. Shot in on Lloyd. That one hits him right in the breadbasket, and it'll hold. Even though the net was off, shot was from the point. That's one I think Ty wants to have back. I don't think it really has any effect on the play. Here's Declan Ernst. He sends it deep now. He's going to chase that down. He's the first one to it. Looking for an option. Gets it up and out and went past Ciesla. Brenner has to hurry. He's got a man all over him. That's Brady Winters. Puck comes down into the corner. Looking out in front. Intercepted. Here's Ernst. Ernst in. Hit. Johnson now down. Puck's out in front. Here's shot by Declan. Never really made it in. There's Sion. Sion out in front. Doesn't come across. Here's Ciesla. Ciesla shot. Tipped. That went wide. Johnson out in front. Sion looking. And Einacone there for the save. Barandino out there. McGovern lays it into the corner. Comes out to Barry. Shot. Rebound. Sitting there out front. Gannon. Still loose. Still loose. And they chase Myers away. Einacone able to find that. Shots are now even 4-aside. Unfortunately, the score is 1-0 in favor of the Colonials. Barandino wins that right back to Gannon. Shot, and that one hits Mikey. That's Mikey's second block of his own teammate. Tipped in by Myers. Comes up. Kept in by McGovern as he falls as well. Puck does come out. He's got it in his feet. He retreats. He finds Shaheen. Easton with the game winner yesterday in game 1 for us. The 4-3 victory over the Hitmen. Offsides is going to be the call. Scorzo in on the draw. joined by Honan and Johnson. As they work in on Ling. Sent around, that's at Thomas's feet. Shot tipped on net. Never fully made it in on Lloyd. It went wide. Thomas, he's going to wrap that around. Thankfully, went past the Hitmen player behind, but kept in. They now work it down low. Out in front, they actually pass it right to Honan. Honan able to not clear. And the Colonials keep. Shot save, and Lloyd's going to hold that, and the boys come to his defense, standing in front. Barandino winning that one back. High up off the glass by Brenner. That comes out just out of the reach of Sion, but here's Declan. Declan across, finds Barandino. Barandino's shot, that just goes wide. Kept in by Brenner. Brenner, his shot goes wide. Comes over to Barandino on the half wall. He tipped that back to Ciesla. Ciesla shot in, kicked, saved by Einacone. Wrapped around by Ernst, finds Barry. Ernst looking, sends it back down deep to Barandino. Barandino, here's Sion. Sion plays it back to Brenner. Brenner shot in, gloved by Einacone. As Declan was looking to get some real estate in front of the net, was moved to the side. So Einacone kind of saw that clean. He's a good enough goaltender that if you give him that, he'll see that all day. Johnson will take the draw now. Face off sitting in the circle, one back by the Colonials. They wrap it around. Ciesla jumping down, forcing the Colonials players along the wall here. A little dog pile. See who comes away with it. Looks like it's the Colonials. Brenner does a nice job. Puck's under the balcony right underneath me, so we'll wait for it to come out. We find Ciesla across. Johnny Hockey fires one in, hits the Colonials player, gloved down by Johnson. Johnson plays it around to Gannon. Gannon behind the net. Taken in to the wall. Colonials come away with the puck. Kept in by McGovern, just not able to get that really deep as we find Shaheen in the middle. He backhands that to McGovern. McGovern retreats. Nice play there. Here's Shaheen. Pressure by the Colonials as we slow things down a little bit. Here's Easton. Easton sidesteps the hit. He wraps that around. We got to get down there. There's Colin and Chase Myers. Gannon has it, sends it behind the net. Myers not able to get to it. Kicked in front. Comes in front of Einacone. He leaves it, and out come the Colonials. Myers gains the blue, and we're off. Gannon couldn't hold. 10-11 remaining in the first. Colonials still up 1-0. Face off going to be taken by Aiden Honan now. Played across. There's Jackson. Jackson chips it in. Puck behind Lloyd. Ian Thomas there. Spins. Gets the puck to Honan. Honan up off the wall. Goes through Sion. No icing. Tipped by Sion. Scorzo gives chase on Jackson. And that's where Sion comes in support. Chips it behind the net. But the Colonials come away with it. Honan able to get that around. That's going to come over to Sion. Not able to be cleared. Wrapped around Lloyd. That's Baxton Ling. He fans on it, so that's going to stay in the zone. Colonials, shot saved by Lloyd, blockered into the corner. Baxton takes a hit from behind. Kept in. Lloyd's going to gather that one and hold. He doesn't like what he sees, so he's going to stop and freeze. Sorry, my shoelace came undone. Colonials. Shot, and Lloyd's going to glove that one. Chris Migliero, what is it? Shot. He had a nice goal on tie yesterday. The third one was a snipe on the power play. Puck again won by the Colonials. They now come back across. Shot, that goes wide. Brenner there. He's going to backhand it up to Johnson. Johnson able to get it to Berry. Berry not going to get it. A little too far for him. He was on his horse, just not able to get there. Ernst does a nice job using his body. Puck comes around, stays in his feet, and comes back to John Ciesla. Ciesla is going to wrap that to Brenner. Brenner chips that up to Ernst. Ernst, as an axe, sends that up. Here's Berendino in. Mikey in. Looks to go between, not able to get a shot off either. He tried that move yesterday and it worked a couple times. Didn't work this time. Brought in, sent around, 91 versus 91. Comes to Declan. Declan looks, gets it to Berry. Here's Berendino as he walks into the blue. He's alone. He takes a hit from behind. The rest of the team had went for a change. Colonials come out. They're now going for a change. Shot, I think Ty got a piece of that. Not sure, but it wound up going wide anyway. Nice move there by the Colonial player. Shot in, that goes wide. Shamble calling for it. Jackson Chris now plays it down to Shamble. Puck does come out of the zone. It's under the balcony. Sorry, guys. Puck's now behind Lloyd. Oop, turnover by McGovern. He now has time. He looks for an option. He finds it. It's Easton Shaheen. Shaheen finds McGovern again. McGovern tipped into the zone and out of play by Gannon. So face-off will be outside the zone here. 7 minutes, 11 seconds remaining in the first. Colonials still up 1-0. Shots are 9-6 in favor of the Colonials. Face-off won by Honan. Back across, there's Shaheen. Shaheen lays that in on net. Ina Cohn steers it over to the corner. Chip back the other way. And that's where Johnson is. Sent in deep. Pops up. Kept in by Sion. He tries. Kept in by Easton. Nice play there, but this one's going to be out. Sent in by Sion. He gets it down deep, but it's probably not as hard as he wanted it to. Jackson Chris gains it. He now looks to clear. He finds Luke Reb. 3-on-1. And that's going to dribble in on Lloyd. Thankfully, no damage there. That was a 3-on-1. I think they were looking to get that across. Just not able to do so. Berendino in on the face-off. Pops up out of the zone. Working on Ling. Ling able to get it up. Not out of the zone. Myers was trying to get a little backhand there. Wasn't able to do much on it. That one's backhanded up to Ernst. Ernst able to chop it out. No icing. Inacone comes out of his net to play it. Leaves it on a tee for the Colonial player, who now has speed as he looks to come up through the center ice, and he does. Nice little move there on Thomas. Thomas gets a stick on it. Puck behind Lloyd. Ling coming over to find it. Takes his man into the wall. Now there's a dog pile, but the Colonials come away with it. Ling has got to move. He's got a man on him. Offsides, Colonials. Face off. We'll be right underneath Duster TV here. Honan and Scorzo. Scorzo able to backhand that into the zone. That's Gannon. He's the first one there. He takes a bump. Colonial bench likes it. Kept in, though, by Ciesla. And we're offsides. They could hit Honan's skate. Puck just bounced over Johnny Hockey's stick. Gannon back to Ciesla. Chris Migliero in. Shot. Ooh, Ty off his angle just a little bit there, Ty. Thankfully, that went over the net and wide. Miggs trying to pick another corner, and that's a hit from behind. Colonials parents looking for a call back there. That Migliero, same thing he did yesterday. Apparently hit some from behind and actually got kicked out of the game. Wait to see what the call is, if it's just a 2-minute penalty for Miggs, looks like right now. Maybe he got a 2 and a 10. I don't know. We'll see. See if he stays in there. Coach not happy about it. That's his son. But again, Miggs was kicked out of the first game. Yeah, it's going to be a 2 and a 10. Shambles coming in to sit for the 2. There was no, he had 4 penalties. He probably shouldn't have been able to play yesterday. There was some discussion about that. How is he able to play? Again, this is a non-league kind of early season thing, so I think they just kind of, would rather have a good player out there, right? I mean, at the end of the day, you're trying to have better competition. And he's a good player. But he does get a 2 and a 10 now because we don't want him to hurt any more players. Nice move there. Here's Scorzo. Scorzo down low. Myers, errant pass. That's going to be sent the length of the ice. Again, midget hockey, you can dump it and ice it on a penalty kill as we skate 5-on-4 for the next minute and 14 seconds before Braden Shamble comes back out. Here's Aiden Honan, black laces and all. Comes in, looks, takes it wide. He finds Barandino. Barandino has it off his brand new skates. He gets it back to Shaheen. Shaheen walks, fires, Myers in front, and that's going to come out. Easton able to get back to it. He now spins and looks for an option. It's Aiden Honan. Honan to Berry. Berry has it in his feet. He gains the blue, enters in. He's alone, and that's going to come off his stick and wrapped all the way down. And not sure what that hit. Maybe hit one of the players on the Red Bank bench because it never made it down to Lloyd. And the face-off is coming into Red Bank territory. 35 seconds left on the penalty to Migliero. Johnson in on the draw. Red Bank not really able to do much yet setting up this power play. See if they can get the next 30 seconds or so set up down there and tie this game back up. 1-0 Colonials. Brenner hits Ciesla. Ciesla enters, gets it to Johnson. Johnson, his shot's blocked. We got to get back. 13 seconds remaining on Johnson across Ciesla. Lloyd signaling to the team that the power play is coming to an end, and it does. Gannon loses control there. Teams are back at full strength. Red Bank 0 for 1 on the power play as the puck now comes into the zone. Shot blocked by Ciesla, comes over to Gannon. Gannon shot in, and Lloyd gloves that one. 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the first. Shamble, who was sitting the penalty, is now back out taking the face-off against Barandino. Ian Thomas goes up off the glass, able to clear. Here comes Barandino. He's got a man spun around. He finds Scorzo. Scorzo in. He's going to pull up. He loses an edge. We're offside, so we let it come out. Nice play there by Sion. Sion was in. I guess they're saying Scorzo was not back up over the line for the touch-up. So now that creates a offsides outside the zone right underneath me. It's where Berry will take the face-off. Sent in. Awkward bounce. Shot that went wide. Oof. Awkward bounce off the glass. Came right to the Colonial player. Brozinski sends it deep behind Lloyd. Sion along the wall. Berry tries to clear. He can't. Shot went wide. Scorzo there. Not able to fully get to it. Ian Thomas sends his men in. Lloyd, I think, got a piece of that. Falling down, wide open in the slot. Shot over Lloyd's head. Comes back out to the point. Kept in. Red Bank scrambling a bit here. Ian Thomas, first one there, and now he pulls it up. It's pinned along the wall. Comes away with it is Berry. Berry looking to get rid of it. He finds Thomas. Thomas spins and turns. Looks, gets it over to Scorzo. Sion would have been gone. 1 minute remaining in the period. Shot, blocker, save. That popped up. Rebound. And a hand pass called on the Colonials. So 58.8 seconds remaining in the first. Face-off will be outside the zone underneath Duster TV again. Aiden Honan coming in to take that face-off against Luke Grett. Face-off sitting right underneath us. Comes across. That's Ryan McGovern. McGovern looking for Johnson. Gets it to him, but it's chipped in. Thankfully, nice play there on defense. Easton Shaheen with time. Looks, hits across, hits Honan. Honan in. 30 seconds remaining in the period. Honan getting through his man. Shot, rebound, sitting there. Who was that not able to put that in? Johnson not able to get much wood on it. Pretty much an open net. Comes across. 20 seconds. McGovern. Shot. That went wide. Kept in by Shaheen and Honan as they combine. Nice move there by Chris. 10 seconds remaining in the period. Comes to McGovern. McGovern up. Finds Honan. Honan in. And that's going to do it, folks. So at the end of one, it's the New Jersey Colonials 1, your Red Bank Generals nothing. Shots 13-9. And we're going to just take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We're not doing a nice cut yet. Go, man. Lloyd making his way down the opposite end as Red Bank will now skate right to left on your screen. Takes his position at the far end. Nobody allowed down that way, so there's no fans behind him or above him. Getting ready for the second period action here. Referee yelling for them to speed up a little bit. see who's staying on for the second period. It's going to be Ciesla and Brenner on D. Gannon, Ernst, and Johnson as he makes his way out. Face-off sitting in the circle there. One back by the Generals as they now look to gain control. John Ciesla looks patient, sends across. Brenner, head fake, looking in the front there. Not able to get that into the zone. It's turned over, and here come the Colonials out of their zone. Johnson sends his man into the wall, but that guy still maintains possession. And holding is going to be the call. Looks like John Ciesla going to the box. All right, so we're going to look at the Colonial power play. Johnny Hockey, 14 minutes and penalties, very unlike him this weekend. Took a 2 and a 10 yesterday, had some choice words for the referee. So John Ciesla in the box for 2 minutes. The Colonials will get their first power play of the game. Johnson, Gannon, your forwards. Gannon's playing defense right now. Back door is wide open. Make a move on Gannon. They now try to work. Puck behind Lloyd. Not sure if Van Riemsdyk was looking for Gannon to play D or just they dropped that puck too quick. Here's Declan. Declan comes away with it. Enters into the zone. He's being hacked and bothered. Leaves it for Johnson. Johnson fires that across. Sent in by Gannon. We're offsides, but that's okay. We do touch up. Here's Declan. Declan with speed looks to get that around. It hits a Colonial player. He can't find it. It's in his body. So Johnson gives him a bump. But the Colonials do maintain possession and they will slow down. Puck comes in. Braden Shamble works on Ling. Sends him around behind the net. Finds his point man. Back to Shamble. 45 seconds left on the power play as they now come across. Shot blocked by Ling, never made it in on net. Milano behind the net, looking for an option. He finds it at Shamble. Shamble walks, shot, tipped. Lloyd able to find it, and the boys don't like that. Johnson comes right in and gives his man a shove. Little extra shove on the Lloyd there. As these two teams become friendly with each other. 2 games in less than 12 hours. Or a little over 12 hours, I'm sorry. Referee giving the coach a little earful. Coach not happy about it. He shakes his head. Not sure what that was all about. Apparently they were talking about something during the intermission. He said he would listen for it. Not sure what he heard. Sent down low. In. Lloyd. Rebound. Able to get a piece of it and send it wide. 15 seconds left on a penalty to Ciesla. Colonial still working. Shot in. Lloyd gobbles that up. And the Colonials don't attack him like they did the last time. The ref's not letting the late change. Face-off 1. Comes across. 5 seconds remaining before the penalty expires. Ciesla out of the box. Berry able to swing that out. Honan comes in one-on-one. He's got Myers joining. Gets it across. Beautiful pass. Thank you. No penalty shot, though. Nice pass there by Honan. And we'll go to the power play. The defenseman had no choice but to take Myers down there. I'll give him that. So Red Bank will get their opportunity on the power play. They're 0 for 1. Each team 0 for 1 at this point. Hopefully Red Bank can capitalize here. Honan, that was a beautiful pass. Myers. Shaheen back to Myers. Myers forcing it. Comes back to him. He sends it down low, and that's Scorzo. Scorzo in his office, or where it was made famous by Wayne Gretzky down low. Comes over to Honan. Honan looking off a Scorzo skate. He takes a crunch. And that comes to Berry. Berry back to Shaheen. Shaheen spinning and turning. Honan. High stick there, no call. Comes to Scorzo. Scorzo again takes a bump, comes to Honan. Honan, slow and patient, seeing what he's going to do. Puck's along the half wall under the balcony. I can't see it. Now it comes to Scorzo. Scorzo finds... Shot tipped in. Oh, wow. That was a set play there. Myers just not able to get it on net. Honan down low. 1 minute remaining on the power play. Scorzo looking. Sends that up. Finds Shaheen. Comes across. There's Honan. Honan shot through a screen and a save by Einacone. He takes his helmet off. It looks like he's got to make an adjustment to his pad. He had the same problem at main camp tryout where his toe tie broke during practice. Einacone, remember that. Remember him doing the same type of thing here. We'll see what's going on. Ref's giving him a little bit of time to make that adjustment as he puts his pad back on. 53 seconds remaining on the Red Bank power play. Johnson, Ernst, and Gannon will be your forwards. Brenner and Ciesla will man the blue line, 5-on-4. Johnson loses it. Puck comes out, so Red Bank will have to gain the line again. Brenner sends it in. It's going to come out again, finds Brenner. Brenner across to Johnson. Johnson, I thought he looked offsides, but he wasn't. He plays that back to Ciesla. Ciesla walks, shot, that hits Declan. Comes to Noah. Brenner gets it across, finds Gannon. Gannon sets up, finds Ciesla. Ciesla down to Brenner. Brenner looks across. Shot by Gannon. Big save. Rebound sitting there. Gannon's going to get that back out to the point. 15 seconds left. Shot by Gannon. Gloved, but not held. 10. Lloyd signaling. Shot tipped. And that comes out. Lloyd signaling 1, and that's over. Power play. Good power play by Red Bank. Couple opportunities. Einacone's still there to stand tall and keep the puck out of the net. Johnson to Brenner. Brenner shot blocked. That goes now into the corner. Big hit there underneath the balcony by Declan as they're still down low. Gannon rips. Shot. Rebound. That comes wide. Comes out. Sorry. Not wide. And that's an icing call. Big hit by Declan underneath there. Gloves went flying. Our little angel. Icing was the call, so face off down in the Colonials' end of the ice. Berry will take the draw. See if he can win that right back to Sion. We tried that, and he does. Sion just not able to fire one off. Had that a couple times down in at the Chowder Cup, and basically Sion deposited those in the back of the net 2 times. Chris sidesteps Berry. Puck still remains, fired around. Intercepted, pops up to Colonials. Sorry, to Honan. Wrapped out in front, looking for Sion, and Honan was Berendino. Sent in. Ling. Swatting at it, not able to clear. Kept in, that goes through the crease. Saved by Lloyd. Spun around. Two defensemen. Thomas looking, finds Ling. Ling up and out. Jackson Chris able to hold. Sends it up. Here's Sion. Sion shot. Saved by Sion. Einacone. Einacone has some words for Jackson Chris. Johnson will take the draw. Wins it right back to McGovern. McGovern looks to get that in front. Just not enough. Shamble working on Shaheen. Shaheen with the poke check. Nicely done. But it remains in the zone. That now comes behind the net to Shamble. Lloyd over there to stuff that one. McGovern takes a bump. Sent up. Not cleared though. Kept in. Shot blocked by Myers. He now loses his stick. He gets it back. Shot blocker save. Rebound across. Lloyd has it. McGovern comes to Lloyd's defense. Got 21 saves on the day, Lloyd. 9 minutes and 58 seconds remaining in the second period. An early goal by the Colonials in like the first 2 minutes. Shot from the point, net was off. Didn't really affect much play. So the ref allowed it to continue. And that's been the scoring so far. Shaheen down behind the net. Colonials looking out in front. McGovern does a nice job of just pushing that right back and behind the net. Shot and a save by Lloyd. He's just looking across the way for some hand signals. I see Berendino out there. No hand signals today. Ooh, right out in front. Thankfully, nobody was able to get the stick on that. That was Migliero. Puck kept in. Sent up. Declan, he's got a step. Can he get a shot off? Ooh, nice shot there. Save. Backhand by Declan. Good job by him. And we do have a goaltending change. Einacone out. Shane Ulbrich. I think that's how you say his last name. I'll just call him Shane. He's now in the net. See if Red Bank can put anything in on him. He's cold. He was sitting on the bench. So Einacone leaves with no goals against. 16 saves. And hopefully Red Bank can put some behind him. Colonials have gone through some goaltenders in the last couple of years. I think they had Tobias. Then he left. He went to Woodbridge. Now he's with the Rockets. Shot in by Brenner. That hits a player. Comes to Sion. Sion down low. Finds Honan. Honan was trying to hit Myers. They leave it back here. Sion has that hop off of his stick. Sion using his big body as a shield. Finds Myers. Myers down low. Finds Honan back the opposite way. Honan back out to the point to Ciesla. Ciesla shot, tipped just wide. Sion trying to get through, not able to. He finds that back to Brenner. Brenner, his shot's blocked, able to backhand it into the zone, but the Colonials come away with it and they have numbers. Dropped, shot, score. Damn. Shot in the slot and it's now 2-0 Colonials with 8:15 remaining. Shot in the slot, beats Lloyd. 8:15 remaining in the second. Colonials now up 2. Berendino in, trying to get some leverage, not able to. Scorzo now over there. Puck does come out of the zone. Ling has it in his feet, but it goes through him. Ian Thomas there now, pushing his man along the wall. Puck comes back out to the point, kept in. Shot, that went wide. Comes to Johnson. Johnson chips that up and out. Scorzo trying to get there, can't. Barry picks that up, comes across, finds Johnson. Johnson trying to weave his way through. He can't. Kept in by Thomas. Thomas shot in on net. Rebound sitting there. Kept in by Ling. Ling hits Barry with it. Lloyd, nice job there by Tyler to fire that up and out of the zone. Dad likes that when he plays the puck nicely. Berendino spinning and turning, poking it down low to Scorzo. Ian finds Johnson. Johnson chips it. Johnson's got Scorzo in the middle. Shot, rebound, nobody in the slot. Shane with the save. Colonials come out the other way. That's Shamble working on Shaheen. Tries to backhand it out in front, blocked by Shaheen. Shaheen comes high up off the glass, finds Declan. Declan sends it deep. Johnson chasing. Shamble and Ernst talking to each other, getting acquainted. Ernst threw a hit down there underneath the balcony again. Kept in by McGovern as he wraps it around. Here's Declan. Declan takes a bump by Shamble. Shot, and that's going to be up into the glass. And Mike Shaheen does a nice job of protecting everyone, even though the glass was in front of him. .604 now remaining. Honan losing the draw. Turned over. Here's Declan. Declan gets it back out to the point. Tipped in on net. And the boys don't like that Honan gave the goaltender a little bit of a after the whistle. But hey, what's fair is fair, right? Colonials able to get that out of his zone. Here comes Anthony Giroux. Giroux pulls up, looks across, shot blocked by McGovern. That comes to Gannon. Gannon. And that's going to be an interference penalty. No, it wasn't. I guess they were saying that would have been an icing. Gannon, it took a nice crunch there and got leveled. The boys like that. Declan's going to go to the box. Behind the play. Shot and a save by Lloyd. Declan heading to the box for interference, so we'll get a look at the Colonial power play. Five minutes and 19 seconds remaining in the second. Shots 25-22 in favor of the Colonials as well as the score. 5-on-4 power play for the next 2 minutes. Colonials not successful so far today. Let's hope that continues here. Colonials working down low, save. Brenner comes into Lloyd's defense. Extra poke there by Giroux. Face-off one, fired around, kept in momentarily. Here's Berry and Johnson. Berry, what's he going to do? Berry's shot blocked. Now has to get back. Johnson's got a long way to go as well, as out come the Colonials through center ice. Johnson not able to clear. Kept in. Berry not able to clear, so it's still in the zone. 1 minute, 10 seconds remaining on the power play. Shot, save. Not able to be cleared. That hit Brenner. Brenner able to fire that down. We'll follow it. Shane Ulbrich. Again, I'm sure I'm butchering his last name. Out. Johnson pressuring. Nice job by Colin. And that's going to be an icing. Stop the clock. 4 minutes even. 40 seconds remaining on the minor penalty to Declan. $19 viewers. Hopefully you stand by during the ice cut as we get a little bit of a break. No icing as that was tipped. Ling has to get there. Shot saved by Lloyd on Shamble. That's going to be fired up and out of the zone. No icing. 10 seconds remaining on the power play, so that should do it. Maybe one last rush by the Colonials. And that's going to do it. So teams are back to even strength. Shamble looks to come into the zone. Tries to bang that one off of Lloyd. Here's Myers. Myers skating through. He now goes wide. He's got Sion in the middle. Not able to really get it to him as that pops up, and out come the Colonials the other way. Brady Winters. Believe he has one of the Colonials' goal, maybe that second one. Shot blocked by Ian. Nice batted down. Puck comes out. Score zone not strong enough to keep that into the zone. Sent in. Red Bank goes for a change. 2 minutes and 22 seconds left. No ice as that hit Honan on its way down. There's McGovern. He kind of loses control, but he spins back. Now he's got to fight for it. Turnover. Shot, and that goes up into the netting behind Lloyd, stopping the clock with 2:03. You can see that behind him. Shots 29-22 in favor of the Colonials. Aiden Honan losing that face-off. Shot in on Lloyd. He's going to put that right into the catching mitt. Honan again taking the face-off, winning it. Fires that around. That comes over to Gannon. Gannon chips it up. Can Sion get to it? Man. It's not going our way sometimes. Miggs faking the shot. Now goes behind the net. Sends it back out to the point. Jackson, Chris. Shot in. Oof. That was a tricky shot there by Jackson. It looked like he was just going to dump it. We got a 2-on-1. Here's Sion. Sion looks to get it across, blocked. probably should have been a call behind the play on Honan. So he took a man down, but no call. Here's Migliero. Migliero in. Save, rebound. Nice job there by Brenner to put that sitting in the way there. Penalty upcoming on Red Bank. Not sure for what. I think I missed it. So the Colonials do get the extra attacker as we're under 1 minute in the second period. 50 seconds remaining to be exact. Colonials looking to get some speed and head out, and that's going to be touched by Gannon going to the box for a hook. So Gannon going to the box. Hopefully this is not the beginning of the penalty parade for Red Bank, as we've had a couple penalties in the last couple minutes here. 42.4 seconds remaining in the second. Colonials look to set it up, and they do. Shot by Shamble went wide. Look to set him up again. Shot in, saved by Lloyd. Berry. Shot blocker saved by Lloyd. Scorzo able to fire that all the way down, actually on net. Shane has to play it under 10 seconds, chased down by Berendino. Can the Colonials get one last rush up? Put it on! And that's going to do it. So at the end of 2, it's Colonials 2, Red Bank nothing. Shots 34-23 in favor of the Colonials as we head into the locker rooms for an ice cut. 1 minute and 17 seconds remaining on the minor penalty to Gannon when we start the third period. So I'll put this on mute. Set your timer. Come back to me in about 12 minutes or 15, give or take. And we'll get the third period ready to roll. All right, Duster TV, we're back. Zamboni made a quick beeline to the door. All of a sudden, the thing just sounded like crap. And might be full. But he's going to get the one last line and the other last line over there, and we'll be ready to go. Not sure what's going on with it. Oof. That's a cleanup on aisle 3 there. A lot of ice. I'm not sure what's going on with the Zam right now. He's not having a good day. So we'll have to wait for all that snow to get cleaned up. To wait and see what's going on here. It's going to be a minute. I guess I'll just sit and talk to myself. 10 of you still remain. I wonder if he'll just open a door and just push that off the ice there instead of trying to figure out how to get that all the way down the opposite end. That's a lot of snow down there. You don't want that to start freezing on the ice because then it'll create bumps. Never seen that before. Where's Mark Sabatini when you need him? Facilities manager for the Armory. We'll wait and see what's going on. Anyway, 17 minutes on the clock. Third period getting set to start. Get a little facilities issue with the Zamboni right now, so we're just standing by. When we do come back, there'll be 1:17 remaining on a penalty to Donovan Gannon. Zamboni's coming back out, so we'll see what's going on. So he'll try to get the rest of that up. This is a newer Zamboni. I think they got this last year. They had one that was camouflage. It looked like a tank. It was kind of cool. Getting play on the Generals. Right? But this one is newer. It's got the Muskegon Lumberjack logo on the top. Our USHL affiliate. I always do like when I see highlights from Muskegon. On their boards, behind the net, they have Red Bank Generals, which is kind of cool. So every time they play a game, behind their net, it says Red Bank. We have Muskegon on our ice and our boards over there. We also have their Clark Cup Championship from 24-25 hanging here. So a lot of water down behind Lloyd when he comes back out. Maybe they'll give them a couple extra minutes to let this freeze up a bit. There's a lot of water out there right now. All right, Zamboni kind of picked it all up. right, so Zamboni's going to make its way off. Refs were a little concerned with the amount of water being pushed onto the ice. They'll squeegee some of that around, let it freeze up. Maybe, maybe the refs will give the boys a minute or two to let this freeze before they come on out. Colonials are out of their locker room. They're sitting along the wall here. Everyone wondering why he threw so much water out there. I mean, it looks like a friggin' lake down behind Lloyd. Red Bank coming out of the barracks. I have to say, it was nice not having to bring home any hockey stuff. The boys were able to leave their stuff here, man. It would be super nice if they had a locker room here full time. Let me tell you, that would help out immensely. But the barracks are predominantly used by the NCDC and Premier teams. Those boys are here almost every day during the year. Lloyd makes his way out. Lloyd will shuffle in his crease there, messing up the blue paint a little bit. Teams getting a little bit of a stretch along the line, talking to each other. Inacone and Ciesla having conversation. Referees are signaling to the teams to head to their benches. Again, Red Bank will be shorthanded to start the period for 1 minute and 17 seconds as Donovan Gannon continues to serve his hooking minor. Lloyd still in the pipes. Again, the Colonials made a switch halfway through the second. They still lead 2-0, shots 34-23 in favor of the Colonials. Last period of the weekend. And hopefully Red Bank can do a little something here. Sent into the zone. Up and out, comes to Braden Rizko. Rizko fires that down in, goes behind Lloyd, comes over to Brenner. Brenner fires that up and goes all the way down. No icing, as again, we are shorthanded. Midget rules now. Allowed to ice the puck on a penalty kill. Puck comes through center. Here's Migliero. Migliero pulls up on score zone, now comes across. Walks in, shot, that goes over the net. Took an awkward bounce, and Scorzo sends that up into the penalty box. As I looked to flash the leather, it came right underneath me. So the face-off will remain in Red Bank territory. Referee's doing a nice job of watching the late change. We are the home team, so we do get the last change. Shot in on Lloyd. He lets that sit in front of him, and he'll stop the clock and hold. Johnson and Barandino, your forwards here on the kill. Ling and Thomas on D. Nice job by Colin. Ling not able to clear it deep. Couple seconds remaining. 3, 2, and 1. Power play over. And Red Bank's going to go on a power play. Giroux, the guilty party, took down Ling. So we'll get a look at the Red Bank power play. Not successful so far. Let's hope we could get one right now. That's big. Puts us right back in the swing of things here. Barandino wins it, gets it over to Myers. Myers turns, comes back down. And that's going to kill it. Myers going to the box for a trip. So we're going to skate 4 aside. And Myers is done for 10 minutes now, as he has something to say. So we're going to skate 4 aside. There'll be plenty of ice here. Chris in on Lloyd. Lot of ice out there. Referee not taking any shit from anybody. Barry has that sitting there. Comes to him. Comes to Ciesla. Ciesla, he loses control. Comes back out. Shamble, nice move on Barandino, keeping that in the puck, but comes to Brenner. Brenner not able to do much with it. Kept in by Chris. But it comes the length of the ice. Honan. That squirts out. Uh-oh. Shamble working in. He's got a man here. Nice job there by Johnny. Kept in by the Colonials. 1 minute remaining on both penalties. Shot, and that goes up into the glass, and we'll get a stoppage of play. So 1 minute minor remaining to Giroux. And then 1:04 remaining on the penalty to Myers. Myers is going to have to sit for another 10 minutes, though, but whoever is sitting the penalty for him will come out in a minute. So again, a lot of ice. Let's see if Red Bank can use it to their advantage now, as the Colonials just did. Shaheen, he takes a bump into the wall, sends it down deep. Gannon now chasing. Spinning and turning as a Colonial player as they clear. Sion gives chase. Kind of caught Gannon flat-footed there. That's Migliero, as he now brings it into the zone, and that pops up into the General's bench. Face-off won by the Colonials. Center crossed and in. As they now enter in, Braden Rizko working on Ryan McGovern. McGovern giving him a lane and some room. Shaheen now comes in support. Shot, rebound, loose. Sitting there, Lloyd's got to find it, and he finally does. Ty able to find that and hold on to it. He looks to be okay. 9 seconds, and then the Colonials get about a 3-second power play. 13:46 remaining here in the third period. Colonials still up 2-0. Kept in. Blocker saved by Lloyd. Penalties are expiring, so Berendino comes out for Myers as he'll continue to feel shame sitting in the penalty box. Here's Braden Scorzo. Scorzo across to Johnson. Johnson shot off the outside. Berendino down low. Scorzo there, but Colonials come out and they clear, and that's Chris Migliero, number 91, as he enters in. Nice job there by Brenner as he put the body on, but kind of Brenner took the worst of it. Berry sending his man into the wall. Here comes Ciesla. Ciesla across, hits Berry. Berry sidesteps a hit, and another one. Gets it into the zone, pops that in. Scorzo sends it deep. He's alone, rest of the team going for a change. Hits off a Honan, kept in by Chris. Colonials clear. Luke Greb working in. Shot blocked by Ling. Johnson sending his man in there. Ian Thomas, little head fake as he now looks for an option. It's going to be Scorzo. Puck comes in. Winners with a nice move there on Honan, sent him the other way. Shot by Lloyd, and he'll just stop it and hold. 39 saves today for the young pup there. Tyler Lloyd. Hopefully that's the only two that go in on him. And hopefully Red Bank can put one in the net here. Got 8 goals on the weekend, none today. Sion losing control. Shamble coming in on Shaheen. Shaheen trying to get, he's got his stick in the middle there. Shamble working, wrapping, looking out in front. Shaheen goes to baseball swing it. Here's the pony. Aiden Honan trying to go through a couple people. He can't. He winds up getting to the puck first anyway. Gannon and Sion out there. And Honan's going. All right, face-off coming down, so the penalty parade. Hopefully it's not starting, guys. Honan will sit for a cross-check. 11 minutes, 5 seconds remaining in the game. Red Bank shorthanded, 5-on-4. Colonials with the lead. They now work. Shot blocker saved by Lloyd. That's going to be fired the length of the ice. Shamble with a rip from the point. Lloyd able to get a blocker on it. Nice play there by Gannon. Able to get a stick on it with enough muscle to send it the opposite direction. Nice play again by Gannon. That one just was broken up. McGovern able to clear. Here's Sion. Sion. Nice play there by Shamble. Where's the puck? Loose. Sion stuck behind the net. Shot, and Lloyd's going to hold on to that. Nice try, Lucas. face off by Berendino. 2 days in a row, huh?
Yep.
The voice of the Red Bank Generals is here. Shot, save, rebound, sitting there. Lloyd has to find it. Controlled by the Colonials. Shot, saved by Lloyd. Rebound comes out, and another save. He's got 44 today. Same number as yesterday, 44 shots. Or 44 saves, rather. Seen plenty of rubber in the first 2 days by his Colonials team. Puck able to be cleared. 30 seconds remaining on the minor penalty to Aiden Honan. Intercepted by Berendino, not able to get it much deeper than the blue line. And Braden Ritzko now brings it into the zone. Colonials look to try to set things up. Berry doing a hell of a job along the blue line here. Colonials offsides now back on. Shot by Migliero is blocked by Lloyd. And that's going to be sent the length of the ice. That's going to kill the penalty off. So Red Bank able to not allow a power play goal. 9:05 remaining in the game, though. Red Bank still trailing. Here's Gannon. Gannon fans on it, sends it across, sends it now deep. Little flyby there by Gannon, and the Colonials are able to clear as they now try to enter into the zone. They do. Johnson. Johnson sidestepping some plays here, is trying to get that middle. Ernst, shot save, comes out to Ian Thomas, and he falls. Not sure what happened down there. I missed what happened down there. I missed what happened. It's Jackson Chris who's down. I'll have to go back and watch to see what happened. I was more focused on that rebound that had came out to Declan to what actually happened. See how the Colonials respond to one of their teammates being hurt. Giroux comes over to open the door for him. Jackson Chris makes his way. I see his father Jacob headed down into that area. Did you see what happened? I didn't see what happened.
Real coach who benches the rest of the game.
All right, so no penalty called. Again, all right, so things might get a little chippy here. Sounds like a couple of the parents and coaching over here. I hear some just do this, do that, X, Y, and Z. Referee just had a conversation. Barry sneaking through, not able to get much wood on it. Puck still loose, sits there. We're under 8 minutes. Looking out in front for Giroux, not able to get it to him. Ian Thomas lays a shoulder in, loses control of that puck. That comes out into the middle. Honan has it, able to spin away, and now he has to start his engine up and come through center ice, and he does. He does. Honan drops his shoulder, comes in, shot, score! Aiden Honan able to put one in, and it's now 2-1. Nice individual effort there by Aiden Honan. Have to go back and see if Thomas will get an assist on that, but Honan basically took that the length of the ice, dropped the shoulder, came in and snuck one in. So Red Bank only trailing by 1 now with 7 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. No icing, emphatically called by the referee. McGovern lays it down low. He takes a nice bump in there. Here's Johnson. He's not able to. They went right to Colin. And McGovern going to the box. So as fast as Red Bank puts one on the boards, as fast as we put one in, we go right back into the penalty box. So Red Bank will have a big kill here. Barandino and Honan as your forwards. Ciesla and Brenner on D. Kept in by Shamble. Heavy shot, saved by Lloyd, and another rebound, and he's got 2 in a row. "47th save by him as he looks up at the scoreboard. Brenner able to fire that up into the bench. Again, causing the face-off or keeping the face-off down low. Kept in, Colonials work, shot, that went wide. Not sure Lloyd saw it even if it came on net, but it's kept in by Murphy. Shamble fires and misses. Honan able to send it down. Barandino will chase it. 1 minute and 15 seconds remaining on the minor penalty to Ryan McGovern. 6:12 remaining in the game. It's 2-1 Colonials. Sent across and in. Dumped around by Shamble. Shot, blocker save, comes over to Honan. Honan able to clear that the length of the ice. Colonials go for a line change, a fresh set of legs for the last 40 seconds of their power play. Migliero starting his engine up as he crosses into the zone. He now pulls up. His shot saved by Lloyd. Down low. Backdoor as some of the families were yelling. Miggs. Shot, blocker saved by Lloyd again. Shot wide. Scorzo able to fire that the length of the ice. And that's going to kill the power play. Nice play there by Gannon. Just rolled off his stick. He takes a bump. Johnson now there. Scorzo there. It's loose. And Shane able to find it as we're under 5 minutes left in the third. Huh? We started at 10. There was a Zamboni problem and everything. Yeah, we've been here for a while. Ling has to hurry. He's got Shamble all over him. Turnover. Poked away there. Not sure. Here's Sion. Sion up just out of the reach of Declan. Teams come back down. There's Ling. He fires that behind. That comes over to Ian. Ian Thomas losing control of it. Johnson there. Lloyd's going to just hold it. Stop play. McGovern up but not out. Berry tries to get to it. He can't get it deep. Here's Berendino here. Berry going wide. Sent back in, finds McGovern. McGovern spins and turns. Tipped into the zone, so no icing as we are under 4 minutes. Red Bank still down 1. Aiden Honan got one here in the third. Shot blocked. Nice poke check there by El Capitan. Berendino's got room. He comes in one-on-one. Tries to come through. That pops over Shaheen's stick. Comes the length of the ice. Lloyd telling McGovern he's got time. He does. He finds Shaheen. Shaheen back to McGovern. McGovern up off the boards and out. Was looking for Honan, wasn't able to get it to him. Not cleared by Scorzo, kept in, chipped up, but not out by McGovern. As we now continue in, shot! That hits Lloyd in the head, puck goes behind him. Hits Johnson, Johnson in. Johnson shot's blocked. Comes over to Scorzo. Scorzo looking. Finds Brenner. Brenner shot. Save. Scorzo not able to keep. Puck out of the zone. We're offsides. Now we're back on. Here's Honan. Honan trying to sneak through. Puck still sitting there. Had Gannon off the side. Gannon fanned on it. Puck out in the middle, cleared under. We are just about 2 minutes left in the game. Johnson shoves his man down to the ice. Scorzo, I'm sorry, that was Ciesla. Shot, saved by Lloyd, goes behind him. 1:50 remaining in the game. Johnson .120 remaining now. Red Bank scrambling in their own zone. Here comes Brenner. Sent in. Lloyd not able to get to the bench yet if they want to do an empty net play here. Sion. Here we go. Sion and Gannon. 1 minute remaining. Sion in. Shot. That goes wide. Comes to Gannon. Gannon looks for Sion. Sion not able to do much with it. Lloyd waiting. Starting to make his way to the bench, and he does. Extra attacker for Red Bank. Under a minute. 45 seconds remain. Scorzo, the extra man, 6 on 5. Who's going to come away with it? Dog pile. Comes to... Oh, it's just sitting there. Kept in by McGovern. He chips it down. That's going to be blocked, though. Red Bank able to recover. 30 seconds remain. Empty net. Sent in. And that's going to be sent down the length of the ice for icing. 20 20 seconds remaining in the game. Red Bank down 1. Face-off will be down in Colonials territory when we come back. We have a timeout called by Coach Van Riemsdyk. Shots 55-30. I don't think I've seen that for Ty. So 53 saves for him so far, as he now is on the bench for the extra attacker. We'll see what Coach Van Riemsdyk's drawing up here for the face-off. If Red Bank can tie it, we'll go to overtime. Be a 5-minute overtime, 3-on-3. Then I thought these two games against the Colonials, other than the shot count, were pretty even. Be good to get another matchup with these guys at some point during the season. All right, so Barandino will take the draw. Honan, Johnson, Sion, Ciesla, and Shaheen face off won by the Colonials, but they fired around. There's Honan. Honan sends it back down. There's Berry. Berry looking out in front, and that's going to be sent the length of the ice. And that's pretty much going to do it, folks. No icing. Ciesla fires it all the way up, finds Sion, but that's going to do it. Enough! 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 Appreciate
Tell
it.
Darren I said what's up.
Well, absolutely. Thank you, sir.
He really is.
Huh?
He really is.
Thank you, man. Lloyd, 52 saves. The boys come over and give him some love. Not able to pull out the win, but a really good effort by Tyler and the team. Again, hopefully these two teams can meet again at some point during the season. We'll watch the handshake line. Again, a lot of these boys know each other. Coach! Coach! All right. Duster TV, that's going to do it, man. See you later.